gon' represent? I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I go with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Pumper Ford. Took a Zoc, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harper Free. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking notes. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I'm making hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count and when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. You can't do with them steps, them niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole part. Yeah, ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
Buckroll.
This shit gon' ride.
You'll never see another nigga like this. Used to have that white bitch popping on the night shift. Now I'm one westward, sharper than an ice pick. On you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Times of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go on, close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Runners on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the squab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the squab in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level super supersonic, my bomb atomic. And you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as Dasani. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home and change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on the face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. And can the streets need another anthem? I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart and my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart and my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life.
When Westworld, let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it. Feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the piece loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Pay my dues, never left a wage, I just rage raw. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy.
When Westworld, let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it. Feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the piece loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Pay my dues, never left a wage, I just rage raw. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing. Dog, I plan to keep you. Lose your mind where I'm from. I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul. Losing time, wasting steady pace, and you off track. I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping He can save you. but the power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. Got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains. So when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have the deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire. When you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the globo. Let's have a feast. Let's shine on our enemies. Right in their face. Let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we have, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drought.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
All right, this is Rooted Speech, man. We got Captain Tywar in the building. Yeah. So, Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rooted Speech, man. Understand, I break it down right quick,
Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big shine. Big glow, I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got $1 million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. These fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka, equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak with a bin shot ya. The best rhymer since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not in China. My conglomerate wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring commas. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect, pay homage. That I'm one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I said I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now one West about put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designers charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had friends on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, know Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause the niggas getting fouled, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a park, but together. Homie, I've been one West bred, one West bedded, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. One West bred, one West bedded, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said so.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see the rhythm in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters.
There was design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
What's the heat?
ODing on the beat, Narcan flow. We outside. We outside with it. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One West sleeve stretched, do it live on the gram. Had a whole world viewing. Click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block, tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them like they Play-Doh. Soldiers giving Halo, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows send you out of space, Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos, leave you all boxed up. All cause my delivery, I be on that prime shit. Take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir, treat you like the Ukraine. Raid your little city, now you voting like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle. I got new aim, fresh kick, spit with the blick. Not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got that Ruger 5 and 7. That's my boot thing. That temperature's getting hot. We take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club. We take it outside. I got my killers with me. You won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly, be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a baldy. Chopper get to run down your block like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog, this the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big burst of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty little combat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look 'em in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother how to bid, he ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. My Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, yeah, we outside. There's one west on them corners and we outside. We outside with it.
Call me Lisa too Jeezy. I make that shit look easy. How bitches come and they greet me, they teach me. Bitches ain't shit and they never will be. I still see hoes on my nuts, but they can't feel me. But really though, I'm in beast mode with the flow. And it's 10 in the morning, I get up and this you know that I look into the mirror through my eyes. I see my soul. I see a true ass priest, Prince of Israel. Yes, bro. I be freshened up, wash up, a true nigga. Throw on my gold, it should go, you know me, cuz. Slip out the door with my 4th dimension cologne. Shine out TLC, Israel, you know what we own. Then I call up, cut this up. Wasn't much, just refreshed with some young stars. Make some noise with this music, with some lost tribes. Yeah, nigga, yeah. Now I know that times may change, but bitch, I'm still the same. Yeah, and I know this a crazy ass game. They really ain't a thing. And they know that gun gon' bang. Ain't tryna die today. Whoa, and they know what we all gon' say. Bitch on UPK. Hey, bitch on UPK. Hey. I can't even think about you right now. Yeah, I'm chillin' with the homies and you know how I put down. I'm cool and I'm just sippin' while fucking with these little bitches. Ice up on my neck, got these hoes so consistent. It's so relentless that I just come back with stats in my backpack. I gotta make a track. Man, fuck what they're talking about, that bitch is a net. Now I don't smoke no crap, but show a nigga from the back. I just on the block, now these bitches won't come out. Me and Cud chillin', got Modelos in the south. Niggas be muggin', but I name it in their mouth. Cause they know how Prince Sharp Bomb put it down. Down, did it down. Hot in my coupe cruising around town. They out in the back on the ground. Glizzy on the mount. Bitches want water like I'm a fountain. They follow to the house. Well, shit, this ain't even my house. But, top ass bitches, they wanna lounge. Want me dog it out like a hound. But look what I found. When you're up, they all wanna come around. But when you're down, they just kick you on the ground. Lame ass nigga, he that bitch master. Lame ass buster, you fucking cracker. Judas ass boy, you backstabber. Yeah.
Big soldier, nigga. Just give me a reason. Fuck peace, getting even. Won't beef with fear. Taking over, nigga. Let me make it clear. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. I'm about to start a fire. Whole team full of riders. They be dead on the ride, boy. Ain't gon' be no survivors. Big soldier, nigga. Come on. Don't care where it is. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is.
I'm repped out, tell them watch your mouth. You know we gon' bend your block. I'ma walk in time bomb. I go viral. You niggas like TikTok, yeah. This ain't what you want. Tell them throw in the towel. We make niggas hit the clock. And with our toe fire, rain brimstone. They gon' think that you live a lie. We ain't got no picks. We want it all. We gon' make you pick a spot. We knocking on the door, so let us in. Or you know we gon' pick the locks. We in the field for real. Every day while y'all just say watch. We making enemies our foot stores. Don't know nothing about it. It take one try when I rock out. I'm like David when I sling shots. I'm putting attachments on everything. Y'all want me connect the dots. This drum got 50 unreleased hits. You don't want to be the next to drop. I put them in a box and make that shit double wood. You don't want to be the next to flop. Yeah. Niggas feeling themselves. Get a shovel, tell them dig the plot. Can't fit you and your man's in it. Just tell them get a bigger box. Cause I'll put you in one and knock you out one. Call up my nigga knock. I'll put your song on, cut it on mute, and then tell you that shit was hot.
Big soldier, nigga. Just give me a reason. Fuck peace, getting even. Won't beef with fear. Taking over, nigga. Let me make it clear. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. I'm about to start a fire. Whole team full of riders. They be dead on the ride, boy. Ain't gon' be no survivors. Big soldier, nigga. Come on. Don't care where it is. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. Big soldier, nigga. I come in the name of the boss. So my niggas that is wartime. Already wait the coast. That point shoot bitch. Red Dead Redemption. Got them niggas scared to whisper. Is you with us or against us? Can't stop to the zone loud. I don't think you get the picture. It come from my head, I'm giving them lead. The preacher give him a scripture. Flow cold style vicious. Niggas sweeter than the missus. Got soldiers posted. I put them on your roof. Merry Christmas. Bring hither and slay him. Got the Glock, got the book of loot. Keep the stick like Dumbledore. Play dumb, I'ma let it loose. Call my gun Harmony. Call my main bitch Betty Boop. He the truth, I'ma need the proof. Got stripes like Beetlejuice. Hit his ass like a Louisville. Hit him low, then I hit him high. Bring him home to the umpire. Give him bars like Wi-Fi. Turn the booth to a bonfire. Little bitch, I'm a live wire. I ride like a cocktail. It's on mine when I ride by. Big soldier, nigga. Just give me a reason. Fuck peace, getting even. Won't beef with feed. Taking over, nigga. Let me make it clear. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. I'm about to start a fire. Whole team full of riders. They be dead on the ride, boy. Ain't gonna be no survivors. Big soldier, nigga. Come on. And don't care where it is. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is.
I heard they coming for blood, I'ma be coming for more. Give me the floor, they better come with a mop. I'ma be making it pour. Nigga, I'm raw, fly with the hammer like Thor. Found on my ops in the morgue, tell I'm on four. I'ma be bombing these lanes, understand how I war. I've been the lead, time to get back in the street. Time to get back on my feet, had time to read. Check out, we came from the east, wait till my dogs are released. Heard they was sleep, so we gon' wake them up. Put them up in the sky, the Lord gon' take them up. I take on anybody, think he brave enough. I've been the same and I ain't never changing up. I'm in my zone, hit on my cellular phone. Tell me whatever he on, I take that scouter. He on them perks and that powder, homie ain't really that strong. I'm like a dumb. Better yet, Benny King, I keep a lion head on my pinky ring. I keep a shield. Boy, you see everything. G43, Symphony, let it sing.
You ain't too, you crazy. Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I read where Eve did to Adam. I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop to stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jackie. So I war, we gonna run the summer. It's gonna be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Pay. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't on who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never fight the hand and feet, so you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified rubber's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Don't let them take you out, your spirit gotta stay focused. Can't go back living how I was, cause it's repulsive. I don't ask for much, that's all I ever wanted. And not killing, die by hundreds, you can quote me. Yeah, these hoes for the streets, they ain't holy. I ain't pulling up the spiritual when devils kiss your boots. We ain't no cowards, please don't say what you gon' do. Or post something on the internet you think you gotta prove. Cause I got Karak Ice, I got Shia War, got Kasarpakai, I got Imawan, got Kabataban, I got Tazaba, got Kakamaima, got Karanyala, got Yaragabar, Tribe of Issachar, bring out Gobble War. Couple young men in this bitch with an olive oil. If you ain't in these ranks, then you out of order. It's a time for everything right now, it's time for war. And I'm still the same nigga when I'm not recording. I pull up, shoot from half like I'm Michael Jordan. I don't think they fit to join the Lord's army. I survived a Christian church, moral of the story. I done beat so many demons, I got war stories. Garment look so hardcore, look like I morphed on him. Appetite for battle, yeah, I'm war hungry. I ain't choose this life, the Lord chose me. I'm a certified priest and I don't take that lightly. How I feel about this shit, yeah, I can't describe it.
Hello up on ya, Barak. Yahweh Shimmy Brakathum.
Yahweh Shimmy Brakathum. Shalom, warriors. Let's get it on. Clap it up. We. You ready to rock, Asher? I think we're going live. We good to go here?
Concert.
All right, let's get it on. Knocking my nose behind. Let's do it. Questions in the room and online.
Anyone online got a question? No. I got a question online for you, sir. Is 2 questions. This person would like a breakdown on Genesis 3:19, and then a breakdown on Psalms 103 and 14. Baruch, someone get it? Genesis 3:19, Psalms 103 and 14.
It's Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou.
Slow it down the taste, brother. Okay, I'm going to break down each line. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, so we're just raising the volume just a tad bit.
No problem. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to break down each line of this. This is a curse, one of the main curses that the Most High God put on the children of Israel because of the sin that Adam committed by obeying his wife instead of obeying his God. And this is one of the curses, and I'll explain it. Before the sin that Adam and Eve committed in the Garden of Eden, everything came easy to them. They didn't have to work hard. Everything was easy. They were in the Lord's garden. So imagine being in a forest that the Most High just wants you to put things in order. He wants you to take this forest and turn it into a farm, turn it into a garden. And after that, the fruit just grows. The cows just eat, the lambs just are born. It was a beautiful, beautiful life. We had everything we needed and wanted. So to understand it today, think about it like being a rich man in a kingdom where he doesn't have to fight or kill or harm other people to be rich. He is just simply blessed. Everything he does works well. Every project that he goes to perform is blessed by God. That's the way it was in the Garden of Eden. So imagine farming with no pestilence, with no locusts, with no beetles and, different sicknesses devouring your crops every year, with no inclement weather. When the weather is just right, the seasons are just right, man, you just grow your farm and I can reap the harvest. That's what life was like when we had the Garden of Eden. But then we decided to listen to our woman instead of listening to our God. Meanwhile, our woman is so easily manipulated by anyone who can promise her a dream. I did so much research this week on the De Beers Foundation, the De Beers cartel, which is the cartel that runs the diamonds that are sold all over the world. And one day, if you want to do some good research, look up the diamond dream. It's an excellent thing to study if you want to understand how easily women can be manipulated.
The diamond dream?
Look up the diamond dream. Well, anyway, that happened in the Garden of Eden. Our woman was manipulated, and then she came and used the affection and the love that her husband had for her to turn him against his God. She was naive. Well, because of that, now this is what life is going to be like for us. Read it again.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
Oh, now when you want to eat now, you're going to have to work hard for it now. Now you're going to work for it. Now you will have to fight inclement weather and seasons that are too hot and too cold and bugs and pestilence that eat your crops before you ever get to harvest them. Now you're going to have people stealing your land. Right now, there's a Judite couple, a black couple out in Colorado, fighting tooth and nail to not have their land stolen from them by the oppressors that live around them. Fighting every day. And the sheriff is corrupt and on the side of the oppressors to water. And for water to the sisters holding it down tonight, get him a hand. They rocking it out with the scotch, and it's good. And the tonic water. That's a necessity. Anyway, out in Colorado, brother, they don't have it so good because they're trying to have a farm. They're trying to have a harvest, and their land is being stolen from them by their neighbors and by the police. That's a curse straight out of Genesis. With sweat shall thou eat bread. Keep going.
Till thou return unto the ground.
Until you go back to the ground. So this same ground that at one time just, gave forth her fruit in the summer, gave forth her fruit in its due season. Now you are going to work so hard in this ground until you're in the ground. That's life. And that is a fact. And that happened. That is happening right now. You're going to work and work and work. If you brothers think you're retiring at 70 years old, you better think again. You're not retiring. I counsel so many old ladies, man. They work, my God, they're 78, getting up every day, going to be some type of nurse or something, 78, 80 years old. If they didn't work back in the 70s, they'd be eating cat food at 80 years old because they had nothing at all. And they're going to work. And black men, don't worry, you'll work till you're about 63 and then you're dead. And that's that. You'll be dead at 63. You'll work all the way up. You'll die in your work uniform. You'll die in your uniform, and that'll be that. And then, of course, your kids will fight over, some Lincoln that you have in your driveway or something like that. They'll kill each other over that old Lincoln that you have because life is so terrible for them as well. Everybody understands. Questions?
Was that the end of the verse? Keep going.
For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
You know what that is. That meaning that's the Most High using the death process to explain to us what life is going to be like now because we obeyed our woman instead of our God. So you came out of the dirt, you're going right back in there. That dirt, you're going to work. You're going to be in that dirt working with sweat all over your face. And then you're going back into the dirt where you came from. That's life. That's the hellish existence that we serve here under our oppressor in Great Britain, in Mexico, in Guatemala, in Brazil, in Haiti, in Harlem, in Texas, in Arkansas, in Mississippi, in St. Louis. And all of us living the exact same life. Finding a way from about the time you're 11 years old to find a way to make some money, searching and searching and searching, hoping and hoping, scheme after scheme, dream after dream, and then you're dead. That is a curse because one day our forefather decided that when he had everything so wonderful, his wife wanted to be like the other people. She thought they had it better. She thought their diamonds and their purses and, their lifestyle was better than what she had at home. And she did what they wanted her to do. And then she came to her man and wanting to please her, he did the same. So now work until you're dead. Next question.
The next verse, sir. Psalms 103 and 14.
Psalms chapter 103, verse 14. For he knoweth our frame. He remembereth that we are dust.
Read that last part again.
He remembereth that we are dust.
So before that, please.
Salakia. For he knoweth our frame.
For he knoweth our frame. Your frame is your body. That's your frame. Because he knows your body. He remembers that you are dust. What is the Most High trying to say about the nation of Israel or the children of Adam? Who can give me the answer? And this is something you don't ever want to remind him of, ever. This is something you should never want to remind yourself of. This is something you should never remind your children of. This is something that everyone thinks is acceptable, and it is absolutely unacceptable. He remembers your frame. He knows that thou art but dust. What is he saying? Come on. No one wants to give it a shot.
Salakia, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Is it saying he knows he can kill you?
Salakia, sir.
No, not quite. Who else wanted to give it a shot? Go ahead. Well, hold on. I forgot about Jamaica. Give Jamaica a hand. Jamaica's in the house tonight. Give them a hand. Also, of course, headquarters, Jerusalem, in the house every night since 1969. Give them a hand. Who wants to try to answer the question?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, Doc.
I would say that he knows that without the laws, statutes, and commandments, we are nothing.
Okay, nothing, you're on to it. Meaning, if you had the law, you would be supernatural. You would be everlasting.
Right.
Right? That's what you would be with the law. Right? The Most High said that now, because without the law, ye are carnal. You are dead. You know what you should never remind your children? That you are just flesh and blood. Don't ever be just flesh and blood. Don't ever just be human. That's an acceptable state for most of you out there. What are you? Hey, I'm only human. That's what that means. He knows your frame. I'm only human. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm just dirt with life in it, getting up and walking around. That's all I am. I'm just dirt. When the Most High God said that that which is corruptible can now be incorruptible. That's in the Bible. You could be incorruptible. You could be supernatural. You don't have to be just dust, but you remind him of your frame. You remind him that you're really just dirt. That's what you are. Remember, the Lord took Adam from the dirt. That's what he took Adam from. This dirt is not talking about the actual death that all of us go through. The Most High is using it as a metaphor because he took Adam out of the dirt. The dirt that the Most High God took Adam from was out of the world, out of the corruption of the family he lived in. Adam was just like everybody else, and Adam was not the first person that was born on the planet Earth, but Adam was the first man in the truth. The Most High took Adam out of the dirt, meaning out of the lifestyle that he was living in like everybody else, just walking dirt, just the walking dead. But he took Adam and gave Adam the truth and put him in the Lord's garden and gave him everything he wanted. Easy. You know what Adam wanted? To obey some silly woman who thinks a shiny rock means that no one will ever leave her, who thinks a piece of paper that binds her to a man for the rest of his life, when meanwhile there's another piece of paper called the divorce paper that looses her from him for the rest of her life. Women are silly. They're silly children. And the minute you realize that, you'll know it. You are honor bound to think for them, to help them where they need it. And that's in being severe. I pray you understand. The dirt is talking about the lifestyle, the filth, the nothingness that he pulled Adam out. But then Adam went and left the truth. And then he said, you know what? You remind me of your frame. You remind me of how you're built. You're just flesh and blood. You're only dirt. That's all you are, Adam, because that's where I took you from, and that's where you're going back to. I pray you understand. Correct. That we are nothing. That's what Adam reminded God that day. After all he gave him. That's what he reminded God. You're just nothing. All right. That's what you were when I found you, right? I remember when I found you, a drug addict. Right? You could barely, you didn't know how you were going to stop getting shape ups. That was you. That was you when God found you. You thought not getting a shape up every 2 weeks was a burden too heavy for you to carry. You couldn't get off of cigarettes. Cigarettes were going to be your downfall. You were just a piece of dirt. And the Most High rose you up, gave you a family, gave you brothers and sisters who would gladly die for you, gladly kill for you. And then what do? Listen to some bitch? Well, you're just dirt anyway. I shouldn't have been surprised. Next question.
Jamaica, you got a question?
Khan, my question is this. Back in Nehemiah again, where
Say that one more time. Hey, also, I need my Espanol. Somebody send me the Espanol so I can read it. Por favor. Go ahead.
Back in Nehemiah again, where the brothers that were rebuilding Jerusalem after the captivity were sealed, and you said it was the same sealing as Revelation,
right? Okay.
But all right, we in Revelation, those 144,000 will be in the truth,
right?
So can we say that those brothers were in the truth?
The brothers, which brothers are we talking about?
The one in Nehemiah.
Let me read to me what you're talking about, please.
All right, let me find it. Nehemiah. I think it's 7 or 6.
Somebody has it for him out just in case. I know I'm tight with the time. I came on late today.
Nehemiah chapter 10 and 1. Now those that were sealed, and they named the names Nehemiah, the Tershata, the son of Hilkiah, and they name about 80 had brothers who were sealed back in Nehemiah. So would you say that these brothers were in the truth at the time when they were sealed?
Absolutely. That term, when it says they were sealed in their foreheads, I believe that's the one you're talking about. That seal is talking about a mark or a brand that is the Most High's seal imprinted in your head. It's a metaphor for how you would put your signature in clay a long time ago. The metaphor is that he put his stamp in your head, his print in your head, and that absolutely is having the truth, correct? Now, the seal of the living power, the actual seal, meaning what it looks like, is David's seal, David's signature. That's why it's called the Magun Dawadah. All right. Even the so-called, Amalek, or the Jewish person, calls it the Magun Duid, which means the shield of David. It's his badge, and his officers wore this badge, and his officers wear this badge today. Everyone understands.
Canada one can.
All right, you want an excellent precept for it is in the Apocrypha. Give Jamaica that precept in the Apocrypha where it talks about all of the things that were stolen from us. But the greatest of all thefts was the fact that they stole the shield of David, the seal of God, from us. That's the greatest theft that our oppressor has ever committed against us. And he stole everything from us, everything, including our self-esteem. But by stealing the shield of David, this symbol right here from us, with taking it, they made themselves David's officers. They made themselves the children of God. They made themselves the people who God would redeem from great tragedy. And they made us dirt. You understand?
The verse is 2nd Ezra chapter 10, verse 23.
Where does he need to read up from to get the context? One verse? Just to give him just enough context. Huh?
Concert.
Read one verse above it, Jamaica, please.
You start at verse 21. 2nd Ezra chapter 10, verse 21. For thou seest that our sanctuary is laid waste, our altar broken down.
You understand that, Jamaica? Block it, Jamaica. You see, our sanctuary was our temple. That was our temple, the place of safety where we could serve the Most High God in safety. And that's something that we as Israelites have never been able to enjoy for any real period of time, is to be safe. Is to not have to worry about violence from our oppressor, which is how America, Spain, Great Britain, and every country that is ruled by an oppressor works. They work through the threat of violence. That's how it works. And that's the way we've always lived, under constant threat of violence from the other nations. But this place we had was our sanctuary, and our sanctuary is gone. Our temple is gone. The temple of King Solomon is gone. Keep going.
Concert. Verse 22. Our psaltery is laid up on the ground.
Our psaltery is speaking about our musical instruments. That's what a psaltery is. The musical instruments that you use to seduce and that sounds beautiful. Our instruments are gone. The things we had in the temple, these things are all the things that were in the temple. The temple itself, and then all of the horns and the canors or the guitars and the different things we had in the temple, which made beautiful music, sultry music. Those things are gone too. The Romans came and took all of our instruments out of our temple. Keep going.
John, sir. Our song is put to silence.
That's what I just said. Keep going.
Our rejoicing is at an end.
Our rejoicing is over. Keep going.
The light of our candlestick is put out.
What's our candlestick? The menorah, the great 7-branched candlestick that we had in the temple. The Romans came in, Titus came in and took away our great candlestick, the main source of light in our temple. They took it away, melted it down along with all our treasures, and built the Roman Colosseum with the gold that they stole from our temple. We lost the temple. We lost the instruments. We lost our great candlestick with 7 branches. Keep going.
The ark of our covenant is spoiled.
We lost the ark of the covenant. You know these things. All of these are physical things. Do you see that, Jamaica?
Another one, Khan.
The instruments, the temple, the candlestick. What else is a physical thing? The ark of the covenant, which was a giant box overlaid in gold. And all of the different artifacts that were the proof that God had a personal relationship with us that he didn't have with anyone else. Those were the things inside that box. What was in there? The Urim and the Thummim, the 2 dice that Moses rolled to make important decisions. The manna that rained down from heaven that fed the Israelites in a time of hunger. The broken 10 commandments, broken in pieces, written by the finger of God himself, carved in stone. Those things were in that box. And Moses' staff that turned into a snake was in that box. We lost all of those physical artifacts. Everything I'm describing is not spiritual. It's physical. Actual artifacts. Keep going.
Our holy things are defiled.
Our what?
Our holy things are defiled.
You need that for later when I break down the last part. These are things, treasures that we held dear as a people that represented our relationship with the one true living God, Yahweh. These things were important to us. They were holy to us. Keep going.
And the name that is called upon us is almost profaned.
And now the name that they call us is almost a curse word. After all of those years of being the children of God in the Bible, you know what we are now? We are Jamaicans. That's what we are now. Let me ask you a question, Jamaica. Are Jamaicans only the original Indians of Jamaica, or the original people brought their own slave ships?
La answer.
Can I find any oppressors that also are Jamaicans?
Canada one can.
Can I find people from India that also are Jamaicans?
Canada one can.
Can I find people from China that also are Jamaicans?
Canada one can.
The name being called the Jamaican is a curse word. It's vile. Because I'm named after the land of my oppressor. And there are 1,000 other heathens that come to Jamaica, and they're Jamaicans just like you, except they own all the businesses and they own the banks. And you live in a house to their pleasure, and they rule over you in Jamaica. Are black people the ruling class of Jamaica?
La answer.
Who's the ruling class of Jamaica?
The whites.
That's correct. See, I wouldn't want to be a Jamaican. I would want to be an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. There are Barakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shai. There are no oppressors that can say that that's what they are. There are no East Indians that can be that. Do you understand?
Canada one can.
Hold your point 1 second, warrior. Keep going. Keep going, Asher.
Slug, sir.
Need me Espanol. I don't have my phone. I need someone to give it to me. Go ahead.
Our children are put to shame. Our priests are burnt. Our Levites are gone into captivity.
These are all terrible things. Our children are put to shame. Shame. That's our children up. They're put to shame. So much violence has made them cowards. Not all of them, but you understand. Our children are put to shame. What else?
Our virgins are defiled.
Our young women, that's what a virgin is, a young woman. Forget about that. They're just very promiscuous women. Why? Violence, being raped, being molested. Violence is what turned us into what we are today. Nothing else. Not a lack of education, not a lack of college, not a lack of money. Without any of those things and with those hurdles to overcome, we would have still become the children of God and a great nation without the violence. All these things have happened to our young men and our young women. Keep going.
Our wives ravished.
That's what I just said. Come on, get me to the point, warrior.
Our righteous men carried away. Our little ones.
Our righteous men carried away. I don't know what else I can do for you. Our righteous men carried away onto slave ships, into prison. Righteous men carried away. That's why it's a joke. Don't ever let anybody tell you that if you went to college and if you pulled your pants up and if you talked proper and if you went and got a job and wore a suit and a tie, that our oppressor, Asher, I see you not correcting my language at all, brother. We're going to be cut off of TikTok in about 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, we gone off of TikTok because I'm saying everything that gets you kicked off of TikTok. Am I wrong or right, Asher?
So, I didn't catch the last thing you just said, sir.
Oh, well, I'm just going to keep going. Anyway, our young men have been carried away, eliminated, devastated. Keep going, and never let anyone tell you that if you behave better, they would change. Right now, the cops are killing young black men, young Hispanic men who wear saggy jeans and who have gold chains. In the 60s, they killed young black men who wore suits and ties and were politically active. That's who they killed in the 60s. They didn't kill young drug dealers in the 60s. They killed college students. That's who those dogs were biting in the 60s. Those dogs weren't biting thugs and gangbangers. Those German shepherds were biting politically active college students. So don't tell me that if I dress better, white people will treat me better. I know that's a goddamn lie. I know that's not true because I know that you would beat up a boy with a suit and tie on. You would beat up a college student. I know little girls that were trying to go to school, that you stood out in front of that school and to intimidate those little girls who were trying to go to school. So I know you're not beating me because you think I'm a gang member. You're not beating me because of how I'm dressed, because you beat college students and little girls that wanted to go to school. I know you're beating me because violence is the only way that your society can run. Violence is the only way that you can be the number one people in a land where there is clearly someone better than you living in that land. Violence is the only way you could make it work. That's what has happened to us. This scripture in the Bible is reading your life to you. Keep going.
Verse 23. And which is the greatest of all? The seal of Sion hath now lost her honor.
Which is the what of all?
The greatest of all.
Jamaica, did you hear that?
Canada one can.
Now, I just read some terrible things, brother. Terrible things. But here's the greatest of all. Read that one more time.
And which is the greatest of all?
Here's the greatest thing of all, meaning the biggest thing that has happened to us. I need my Espanol. Somebody got to send it, give it to me, all right? Here's the greatest thing that has happened to us. Go ahead.
The seal of Sion have now lost her honor.
The seal of Zion has now lost her honor. At one time, this was so honorable, brother. This was a badge. This was a badge. And when a man wore it, you knew justice came with him. Justice now came to your village. Justice came to your town. We did the job that the police refused to do today. We were the actual good guys, the actual heroes. The police refused to do that job today. The saddest thing in the world, Doc, is that this seal doesn't have the honor it used to have. And the UPK is bringing honor back to the seal of Zion. You understand? Brock, I tell you how why y'all was shot.
Good, sir.
Next question.
Concert. Next question I have here is: a Muslim tried to point out that 2 Chronicles 2:2 and 2 Kings 8:26 has King Ahijah beginning his reign at two different ages. Does the age number difference really matter?
No, listen, Israelites did not give a damn about age or your birthday. You'll find that all over the Bible. Israelites look at their birthday in seasons, roundabouts. That's every holiday in America is about some heathen's birthday. Right now, we're in Black History Month. If you ever wondered, which I'm sure you have not, why is Black History Month in February? It's because Frederick Douglass, his birthday is in February, and Abraham Lincoln, his birthday is in February. So because of that, Black History Month is in February. That's it. It's all about Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. Both of them are born in February. And so because of that, Black History Month is in February. Why is President's Day in February? Because George Washington's birthday is in February. So since George Washington was born in February, President's Day is in February. President's Day is just a day to honor the God of Washington, the God of George Washington, who was a famous slaveholder and rapist. And President's Day is his birthday. Israelites, we don't have a custom like that. That's it. I don't know how old I am. I mean, who knows? I could be 25, really. I mean, that's as far as I know. I'm 25. I'm 25 years old right now. And rest assured, I'll whoop your ass like I am 25. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. In self-defense and in righteousness. But I don't know how old I am because I've been in the truth too long. All right, next.
I'm sorry, sir. Can you please say that again?
I said I'll whoop your ass like I was 25 years old. I don't want to do that. In self-defense, not assault, but in self-defense. That's what I said.
Concert. Abadi, you said you had a question?
Khan. Salakia, sir. Basically, my question's simple. I got a question about Genesis 1:28. Basically, it's a two-parter. I already talked to Cap Katiza. He said, basically, this isn't true. Basically, I found out Amalek believes 1:28 is an actual law, and basically, I guess, one of the first laws in the Torah. And they're using this to say that if you break one law, you can't be a teacher. So this disqualifies Yahushai. This is Genesis 1:28. And the power blessed them, and the power said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Basically, the beginning part about being fruitful and multiply. Amalek basically teaches what's called that if you do not attempt at least to do that, you have broken the law. And
slow down. If you don't attempt to do what?
Salakia, meaning like, if I may, I grew up around Amalek as a kid. Amalek marries early at 18. They basically, because they believe you must be fruitful and multiply, and then from having to deal with Amalek lovers, cats that learned from Amalek, he broke it down and explained you have to get married at 18, try and attempt to have a woman, or else you've technically broken the law. And basically, they used that to say because of that, Yahushua can't be a teacher because he didn't fulfill the very first law.
Because he didn't have any children.
Basically, because he didn't even attempt. He didn't get married. He didn't have a wife.
Attempt.
Khan.
Where is that at? Attempt. According to them, they're saying be fruitful and multiply, right?
Salakia, say that one more. Khan.
They're using a precept that says be fruitful and multiply, right?
Khan. They're saying this is a law.
Gotcha. Okay. Solid. Okay. So who cares if you attempt it if you don't do it? Did it say you should try to be fruitful and multiply? Did I miss that? What does it say?
Be fruitful and multiply.
That's what it says. So then anyone who doesn't have children cannot be a rabbi, correct?
Correct.
All right. So go ask them if that's the case. Remember, always remember this in a battle log. Put them on the defense. They're using a precept that says be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. And they know that be fruitful means to have children.
Right.
All right. So then are you saying that no? So I'm assuming then anyone who doesn't have children cannot be a rabbi. Did you ask him that or no?
Khan, sir.
And what did he say?
Salakia, they basically said, yeah, you basically, it's their thing is about if you basically they have fall back on if you can't. Basically, you went and you.
If you can't have a child, then you can't be a teacher.
Right.
Is that what they're saying or not?
Salakia, I believe you have to at least try to get married.
Ask them to show you that.
Salakia, then they're gonna go to the Talmud.
Oh no, here we go. All this is ridiculous and stupid, right? And none of this makes any sense. Let me say something to my Jewish friends out there. The Jewish people. Talk to my Jewish friends for a second, if I could, about you. To my Jewish friends, you disappoint me on so many levels. One, let me explain to you why you disappoint me. You were under terrible oppression in Germany and in Poland and other areas like that when Adolf Hitler exterminated six. You said something else?
We might get an issue with that. The Fuhrer of Germany during World War II.
That's what I should be saying?
Yes, sir.
Wow. I should be, no problem. To my Jewish friends, let me just reword it. I don't want to offend you. The Fuhrer of Germany, the president or the prime minister, the prime chancellor, I believe his title was, the prime chancellor of Germany, unalived, did away with 6 million Jewish people. And it was a terrible, terrible incident. And that's a horrible number of people to kill. I know because I'm black and 90 million black people were killed during the slave trade. So, I mean, you can imagine how we feel. I mean, you'd have to only imagine if 6 million is terrible, and it is, you can imagine what the North American Indian feels like when 77 million of them were unalived, exterminated. You can only imagine, even I can only imagine what the Hispanics, the Latinos went through when countless hundreds of millions, the Spaniards did not even keep the number. The estimation is in the hundreds of millions of them that were unalived, exterminated. You went through the terror in Germany that your forefathers went through, and you still came to America and abuse black people in Brooklyn. You still did it. You felt no compassion on us, even though you went through a similar thing in Germany. You came to Brooklyn and oppressed us the same way you were oppressed in Germany. That is so disappointing. And let me tell you something else that should exclude you from coming to Shabbat service. That should exclude you from coming to the high holy days. That should exclude you from coming to Passover Seders. When are you rabbis going to start to shun Jewish people who abuse black people in the music business? When are you going to do that? Are you telling me these Jewish men that take advantage of 13-year-old boys who have a hope and a dream to sing? They just want to sing. And they meet a Jewish man who takes every penny they have in perpetuity forever, and they die penniless in Mississippi. And then the rabbi accepts them into synagogue on the Shabbat. Then the rabbi accepts them at a Passover Seder. When are you rabbis going to start to enforce kindness to Jewish people in the music industry? When are you going to say, well, you can't come to my synagogue until you give back the money you stole from those poor black people on your record label, from those poor little girls who you signed a contract to when they couldn't read, and you told them they don't need a lawyer, and they signed that contract. Now you are a multimillionaire coming into my synagogue, but you shouldn't be in here because of what you did to black people in the music business. When are you rabbis going to start to tell slumlords in Brooklyn that they're not welcome in the synagogue until they take better care of the tenants in their buildings? My Jewish friends, I'm disappointed in you. And I would like to see you do that. I would like to see you show me the righteousness that you claim to have as an inheritance. Don't allow Jewish people to come into a synagogue if they have taken advantage of poor black people in the ghetto in the music business. Don't allow Leor Cohen to come to synagogue because he admits to taking advantage of black people and to propagating drug use and drug addiction, even though he knew it was horrible and he knew he was promoting it. You shouldn't let him come to your synagogue. Show me the kindness that you claim to have as an inheritance. Show me that you'll go to Brooklyn and tell those slumlords in Brooklyn who have rat-infested buildings with tenants who are paying them rent, and there is no heat at all in the winter. Tell those slumlords that because they are Jews, they have an obligation to show God's kindness to the tenants in their building. Abadja, that's what I would tell them. I would keep the conversation on that, and not what Jesus would do. Not was Jesus a rabbi? He doesn't have to believe in Jesus. If he believes in the law of kindness, if he believes in the Old Testament, then it is wrong for him to be a record executive who claims to be a Jew and to treat other people like that. His rabbi should speak against it on the Shabbat. His rabbi should speak against it in the high holy days. The rabbis have to stop what rich Jewish men are doing to blacks and Latinos. Rabbis have to stop it. They listen to them. But for too many years, they abuse black people in the music business, steal every penny they have, take advantage of their ignorance and their youth. They take advantage of poor black people, and then they go to synagogue and sit in the front row in the synagogue and are treated like dignitaries. I gotta go. I'm just speaking to my Jewish friends right there. I would like to see you work harder on that. You don't have to follow Jesus. Don't follow him. But it would help if you could be a better landlord and a better record executive. That would help. Next.
Go on, sir. We got Maryland and Detroit in class as well. Maryland, Detroit.
Give Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. Give them a hand. And where else? In Detroit. Give the D a hand. Get it on.
Maryland, Detroit, any of you have a question? No question for Detroit. Maryland, no question. Okay. Any question in the room? All right. Kawaki, you have a question? Okay. I have a question, sir.
Give me some questions. I got to get to my topic. I got to get to the myriad of videos I have tonight. Let me see this question right here.
This is from Shar. They would like to know, are the stones in Aaron's breastplate in Exodus 28 and 17 listed in the order of the tribes of Israel?
Absolutely, they are. You want to go to the book of Revelations, and that's the order that they're in. All right. I know the Judah stone is the sardonyx. I know that simply because I'm a Judite. I believe that Ephraim's stone is the emerald, but I can't remember. I can't guarantee any other stone, but I know that the Judite stone is the sardonyx stone. All right, next.
Concert. This is from Yaquataza up in Buffalo. He would like a breakdown on Deuteronomy 32 and 22.
Go ahead.
You know right now. The water though. Someone get that? Deuteronomy 32, verse 22.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 22. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell. And
yeah, brother, this is a curse that the Most High God has you living in right now. A fire is kindled in mine anger, meaning the Most High is angry with us. So the metaphor is like, you put sticks and, in a flame and you stoke it with a wind. You push it and use a bellow to stoke it with wind and stoke it with wind. That's what we've done to the Most High's anger. He's extremely angry with us because of our conduct, because we've chosen to be like the other nations and to have their culture and their conduct. And we've rejected the conduct that the Most High God has given us. So he's very angry with us. And his anger is so hot, it's going to burn to the lowest hell. The lowest hell is like a pit in the earth. That's what hell is. Hell in the actual verbiage is a pit in the ground. That's hell. You can look up Sheol in the Bible, a pit that sinners were thrown in. That's where the concept of hell comes from. It was a giant pit, kind of like Potter's Field, or a big hole that you would bury people in who didn't have loved ones and who were ashamed to be related to them. It was a place called Sheol. There was a place called Sheol. Just write it down for me. There was a place called Sheol, and they threw their bodies in there. You can have Ariana do it if you can. And that was that. And so that's where the concept of going into a pit, going down into hell comes from. This fire is going to burn down into the lowest hell. That's the lowest hell, meaning the lowest pit. It's going to burn down into there and burn the hell out of you. And that's what's happening spiritually to us in every country on the planet. The Most High is so angry with us that it's burning up the projects. It's burning up the favelas in Brazil. It's burning up Juarez and burning up Sinaloa. And it's burning up Mississippi and St. Louis and burning Detroit to hell, burning the hell out of Detroit and burning Baltimore, burning Jamaica to hell, burning Harlem, burning Philadelphia, burning every place that a Black or Hispanic person cares to call home. That's the lowest hell. The condition you live in is being burned up by God's anger towards you. That's good news to me, because if I know that my condition is caused by God's anger, then I have the solution to end his anger. I'll obey him. And now he'll be pleased by my conduct as opposed to angry. That's the key to life, young man. Anything else?
Khan. And shall consume the earth with her increase and set on fire the foundations of the mountains.
I just broke that down. The foundations of the mountains are talking about the governments and the seats of established rulers that you think you can rely on. You can't rely on them. They're going to burn to anything that you depend on is burning because God is angry with it. So he's going to destroy it. That's what the burning is a metaphor for. He's going to destroy it and wipe it out. That's that. Next.
Also, Yatazar has a question, sir.
Yatazar, please.
So if I may, I don't want, if you could refresh my memory with the breakdown of Daniel chapter 7, verse 8. The three horns. What are the three horns that were plucked out? I'm gonna read it, sir. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. Before one, there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
Let me give it to you quickly. The little horn is speaking about America, because America is the youngest of all of the former Roman Empire countries. It's the youngest country. These countries, you can go to Spain. There's a restaurant in Spain that's 200 years old. Some restaurant. Spaniards go in there and eat, abominations in there for 200 years. Where America is that, is young. So it's the little horn because it's the youngest of the great powers. And this little horn plucked up three other horns that were in its place. Is that the word you used?
Sir.
Well,
Before
what countries had to? You want to say something?
Hey, sir. It says, before one, there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
Yeah. So this little horn plucked up three other horns by the roots. What three powers had to leave that were rooted in America before the little horn grew? Spain, France, and Great Britain. The Louisiana Purchase is how America, got rid of the French. Florida, the America got rid of. Spain is was plucked up by America to get Florida. What else?
Puerto Rico,
Dominican Republic. Blah blah blah. And Great Britain, of course, had the Northeast, and they were rooted, meaning they had been here for a long time. But America got rid of them. It's so different to understand America, because America is a country that's a continent. When people think of Africa as if Africa is a country, but Africa is a continent with 53 countries. And Europe is a continent with 20 countries or something like that? The European Union, right? Usually a continent isn't controlled by one country, not usually, all right? But America is this gigantic continent that's one country from sea to shining sea. They had to pluck up three countries for America to establish the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine is the doctrine that decided that America would not allow Spain or give me the other one. France to ever have land on this continent. They decided they had to go. That was during the time of the President Monroe, and it's called the Monroe Doctrine, that America must be one country from sea to shining sea, which means Spain and France, you got to leave just like Great Britain has to leave. Those are the three horns. Next.
Throw out, sir.
We have Chicago in the building as well, sir.
Give Chi-Town a hand. Oh, wait. They up in here with us. Getting it on, getting ready for the Passover. Man, what about Captain Tazaryak, man, out there in Boston? What's happening right now, Asher? Are they getting it on yet?
Yeah, I believe they started last I checked. I know Boston was doing
listen, right now in Boston, Captain Katazar and Captain Tazaryak and the other brothers down there in Boston, they're doing a town hall meeting with representatives from the Muslim representative, a Jewish rabbi, and a Christian to speak about race relations and the media. I believe it's the Boston National Press Organization, and they invited Commanding General Yohana to come down to this event. Commanding General Yohana gave the job to Katazar because it's in Boston, and Katazar wanted to bring his main man, Captain Tazaryak, down there with him to get it on because they do things and they work so excellent together, Judah and Ephraim, and they're down there right now in Boston, and they're about to bring it back wet. They're about to come back drenched, soaking wet out of Boston. They're getting it on right now tonight. Give them a hand, all right?
Kom Yasha.
Kom Yasha.
All right. Chicago, you guys have any questions?
Give me a question online.
No question from Chicago. So we got 9 minutes till we begin the things you got, sir.
Khan, go.
The next question I have is this person would like a breakdown. Oh, it's a little man that used to call the show. Okay. It's Jaheim that would like a breakdown on Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1.
Give Jaheim a hand. I remember him, Mike. Hardcore, Jaheim. Good to hear from you, warrior. What was his question?
He would like a breakdown on Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. A good name.
Go ahead.
A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
You better believe it. A good name is better than precious ointment. Let me try to explain it to you. What is precious ointment used for? Who knows? Just think today. You know that if you have some of Captain Tazariak's wonderful oils that he has precious ointments. Captain Tazariak, what are they for? Who knows?
To make you smell good, sir.
To make you smell good. That's what they're for, right? A precious ointment makes you smell good, right? When Jesus Christ, our King, a black man from the tribe of Judah, when he died, Mary Magdalene would go to his burial, and she rubbed his body with ointments. See why? Because dead bodies start to stink, and so she went down to his burial, to the sepulcher, just to rub his body in oil so that his body would not stink so bad. And because she went down there every day, she was there to see that there was no longer a body in that sepulcher, but our King had risen from the dead. And she was the first one to know that he rose from the dead, because she tended to his body, and she would rub ointments on his body to stop the stink of decay. Well, let me tell you what's better than putting oil on to make you smell better. To have a good reputation is better than that. That's what you need. It's better. You want people to like you. You want to be pleasant. You want people to enjoy your presence. So you put on perfume. You put on oil. You dress nice. You know, you look good. Why? So that you can be pleasant to other people. So you can have a sweet smell and your neighbors can all love you. This is what will actually make your neighbors love you. A good name, a good reputation. Treat people well. That'll make you smell like flowers. Treat people well. Treat them good. Be nice to people, man. That's the key. Be nice to them. Be kind. Be what they used to call a gentleman a long time ago, man, which just meant a man of class, a man who was dignified, a man who wasn't just grubby and scrubbing for $1 every goddamn day, but a man that believed his honor, his reputation mattered more than money. That man treats people well. That's how Commanding General Yohana teaches us to behave, to be men who can have a good name, a good reputation. I pray you understand. Next.
Sir. I have a question.
See me one more time. Service around here ain't what it used to be.
There was still more to the verse, sir.
Go ahead.
And the day of death than the day of one's birth.
And the day of death than one's birth. Why? Because the day of death is the end of suffering, and one's birth is the beginning of one's suffering. That's the point. He's making a commentary about life here, where the day that you die is better than the day that you're born. Why? Because the day that you die, what can people say about you? Come on. Come on, break it down.
Salaki, sir, that you had a good name.
That he had a good name. Give him a hand. That's what they could say. They could say, listen, he went to his fathers with honor. That's what you want. You are now, when your time is up on this earth, what will they say about you? Will they say he did anything for money? That's all these celebrities who you idolize. You know why they're famous? Because they would do anything for money. Anything. Now give me a video. Give me Ricky Smiley. Give me Ricky Smiley on the TV show with, what's that football player? It's one of the videos I sent you, Asher.
Concert. 1 second. I'm gonna get it for you in few.
Yeah, that's the problem with the people that you idolize now. They're not men who cared about integrity, women who cared about honor and integrity. They're people that would do anything for money, anything. And so now you idolize them. And so when your time comes, what will they say about you? That, boy, he would cheat you out of $1 if he thought he could get $1. Well, he would do anything to feed his family, which is why snitches are so evil. A snitch is evil because he hurts other people so he doesn't have to pay for his crime. He'll do anything to get out of jail, anything so he can do less prison time. Well, you are just like him because you would do anything for money. Let me talk to some of my gay friends. Can I say gay, Asher?
Members of the LGBT community.
Let me talk to some of my friends of the LGBTQ community. Most people who you think are your allies are only acting like they're friends with you because they'll make money because they're friends with you. They don't like you. They can't stand you. They're sickened by you. But they will kiss you in the mouth if they can make money. They will let you rub all over their body and sexually assault them if it means they could get rich. And you think they like the LGBTQ community. You think they're an ally, don't you? You think, well, he's progressive. He's an ally. He just would do anything to get rich. That's all. He's not your friend. He doesn't care about you at all. And you have so many celebrities that show so much love to the LGBTQ community. I'm trying to help you if you're one of my LGBTQ friends. They don't love you. They don't care about you. But right now, at this current moment, you can make money if you fake like you like LGBTQ people.
If I may,
I'm just
sir,
trying to help you out. Please.
I would like to segue into Bad Bunny, the Bad Bunny video.
Yes. Should we go to the Tavis Smiley, or you want to go to you want to go to this one first?
This one first, since you ended on this.
Shalom. Go ahead and do it.
Can you hear it, sir?
I can't well, but if y'all can hear it, it's fine. They cut us on TikTok. I knew it was gonna happen. Actually, they cut me on TikTok.
Yeah, that's the G word did it, sir.
What's the G word?
Gay.
Oh, damn. Damn. I got to get right up.
He's being himself, and so many people are resonating with him.
I can't hear it too well, Salakia.
No, sir. I don't know.
I'll focus in. I don't think anyone else can hear it if I can't hear it, right?
We hear it very faintly on our speaker.
Okay, find out if the brothers and sisters online can hear it.
Concert. Concert.
What's the G word? The G word is the word I shouldn't be using, but I should be using LGBTQ.
Okay. It was very low. It was very low. It was I guess the video itself. But there's a video about the Latin rapper Bad Bunny, and how he's gender fluid and he's able to still be masculine by kissing men, backup dancers and all that, and how this woman is a queer woman. And
if they can't hear him out, we'll probably have to wait till I come back home to Harlem. We'll probably have to wait a second. Is that why they can't hear it?
They can hear it. It's just very low. I just listened to it. It's hard to hear. I could actually play it on my phone. Hold on 1 second, sir.
What do you think?
This is the Bad Bunny video.
Let me tell you about Benito. I love that he's playful. I love that he's goofy. He has a motto that is "Yo hago lo que me da la gana," which means I do whatever I want. I don't care what people think. He dresses up in drag. He kisses his backup dancers of any gender. You know, dismantling machismo. As a queer Latino woman.
Stop right there. That's the part. It said Bad Bunny kisses his backup dancers of any gender.
And dresses them up as any gender.
Say again?
And dresses them up in any gender.
And dresses them in any gender, dismantling machismo. That's the one I just don't understand. I mean, damn. Why is the LGBTQ community so intolerant? Why does machismo have to be dismantled? You can't live alongside machismo. Why can't people who are LGBTQ people live alongside people who hate that act? Why can't we live together as one? I don't understand it. You got people out here who love something that I can't stand. And I'm sure that I love a thing that they hate. So if I cannot stand that act and think it's a sin against God, why can't people who do it live in the same country, in the same state, in the same neighborhood as I do? Why can't we all just live together as one? Why do people like me have to be exterminated? Why does machismo have to be eliminated? What's the word she used, Asher? Dismantled.
Yeah,
Damn, why do you have to dismantle masculinity? The word machismo means masculinity. Why does masculinity have to be dismantled? Homosexuality, the LGBTQ traits and characteristics aren't being dismantled. So then why does masculinity have to be dismantled? I'll tell you why. Because too many of my LGBTQ friends are intolerant of masculine men. You're intolerant. You refuse to live alongside rough, hardcore brothers like myself and the brothers in the UPK. You refuse to live alongside us in peace. You won't do it. You have to dismantle masculinity. You have to get rid of it. We all have to be LGBTQ or else there's going to be violence. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you have to be so intolerant. Well, let me ask you another question. Bad Bunny, is he a LGBTQ person?
He pretends to be.
Who wants to give me an answer? Someone answer me. He kissed the man online. I saw that.
Concert and dresses up in drag.
And he wears dresses. He dresses in drag. Could someone answer the question? Are there any Latinos out there that know Bad Bunny, that know about his music, that are familiar with him? If so, speak up now. Because here's my question to you. Huh?
Concert.
Okay, is Bad Bunny, does he have a boyfriend? Is he a LGBTQ person?
So like, sir, I think he's gay. Like since when he first came out, I think he was gay, sir.
Why do you say that?
Because when he first came out, he used to be have a persona as, you know, like a straight man, being like rough from Puerto Rico or whatnot.
Yeah.
And you slowly start to see the transition to him being very flamboyant and then going to the extreme where he's wearing dresses and kissing men. Like I always had a feeling that he was gay. Him and several other like Hispanic artists.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. When did he sell more records?
I think he sold more records when he started kissing and dressing like women, kissing men and dressing like women.
So what does that tell you?
That he's gay.
Oh, brother, I wish. I wish I was young still.
No, so but I really think is like the point that you ended before we transition. He's doing it for money. He's trying to make money.
Let me tell you, okay, they're not like you and I, Asher. Okay, they're not like you and I. Guess what? His name is not Bad Bunny. Even his name is just something to sell music.
Right.
He's a product. You get my point? And they'll just do whatever they have to do to make money.
Right.
You want to get an education? Go look up his record sales when he was a man, acting like a man, and compare them to the ones when he acted like he was an LGBTQ person. And then you'll just know he's not gay. He's not. Neither is Young Jock. Young Jock put a dress on. You have a list of people that wore a dress? The list is too long. I'm trying to help out my LGBTQ friends. None of these people are gay. None of them. What they are is opportunistic and greedy as hell. They are absolutely greedy. And Asher, this is something you won't get. But there are men that will kiss another man, have sex with another man, and they are not attracted to men. That blows your mind, doesn't it, Asher?
No, sir.
Yeah. Let me tell you something else for you nasty brothers out there. These women who you force into threesomes, they are not attracted to women. They're not. But they just have no integrity at all. That's it. And when you have zero integrity, a sexual act just is like eating a sandwich or going to the store. It doesn't mean anything at all. It doesn't mean that's who you're attracted to. It just means you can do this if it makes money. And it's a whole different way. It's not how you and I are. It's different. We could only kiss someone we were attracted to. But people who are very ambitious, they could kiss anyone if it makes money. You don't believe it? Go to the strip club. Asher, when the last time you were in the strip club? A couple of days ago.
I can't remember,
the next
sir.
time you go there.
I can't remember, sir. It's been that long.
It's been so long. Y'all stop talking about Asher. He don't go to strip clubs. Well, Asher, those girls in the strip club, some of the ones who are all over you, they don't like men. They're lesbians. But they're all over you. But they can't stand men. And there are some of them who will do a lesbian performance. And they like men. And they don't like women. Why? Because they are just greedy and hungry and would do anything for money. And that is people. That's a type of person. And mainly they're on TV and internet stars and they're record executives and they're people who you idolize because they're so rich. But what you don't understand is that they're rich because they would do things you would never do. They would do things that'll hurt your stomach, that'll make you throw up, but they can do it. Does everyone understand?
Come on, sir.
All right, anything else?
Can I play a quick Passover commercial, sir?
Sure.
All right.
So she asking me like, yo, Hard, what you wearing for the Passover? I'm like, what else? Linen. That's what your mind is saying.
Listen. You wear that linen, you're gonna be a bad motherfucker. You know, right? You're gonna be a bad nigga. All right, man. Go on, man. You know what you're doing. Go ahead. Shit.
Check it out, though. On a serious note, where's Yatazar?
What?
You ain't seen it?
Yatazar? Wait, hold up. I remember, you know what I'm saying, Peace and Love said Yatazar was talking about he was going to walk to the Passover.
Yeah, he was walking. I seen him. You know what I'm saying? He had a plastic bag, had a sword or something sticking out the back of the bag. He's walking off fast. Yo, fall my back. Get the door. I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
He's dead serious going to walk in North Carolina.
I mean, come on. It's like, it was a video and all that, but I'm sure he's not seriously walking to the Passover.
I don't know, man. I think he's serious. Some boots was clicking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had that bag and he was moving. I was like, what? Yeah, I called him a few times. I don't know if he had his headphones in or what, but he ain't turning around to say nothing. So I figured he was in a rush.
He's trooping, sir. He got his swords. He's ready for war.
There's no way I believe that Officer Yatazar is actually walking to the Passover. What is it, February 12th?
He said, you know the time he said to get there, he start walking, he'd be there on time. That's a Levite now.
So you telling me that nobody knows where's Officer Yatazar?
Check it out.
Nobody knows. You know what I'm saying?
You should give him a call.
I did that already. It's going straight to voicemail.
Shit.
What'd you say?
He's good.
take that out.
All I can say is this, man. If he's walking the Passover, everybody else better get to the Passover too.
Damn right.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yohana's putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the Convention Center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
Give him a hand, Most High in Christ. Let's get it on, Akim. Also, let's get at that all black party, man. Let's get some Latino brothers up there, man, and do some music too. Let's get some Música de Español up there. Get some of that on there. I was listening to some group today called Calle 25. Who the hell is that? Somebody tell me about them. Calle 25. Oh, they were jamming, Asher. Oh, you should have heard them, Asher. Listen, they had the pistola in the belt and everything up, singing the hell out of some song while I was in the gym. It was outstanding. Tell me about them if you know about them. Calle 25. Where are we at? Let's hear some of that at the all-black party. We'll get it on at the Passover, North Carolina. It's coming up. Get ready. Cut those damn fringes. Start cutting them now. Get them cut. Put those studs in. Don't cut those fringes at the Passover night. Start cutting them right now. See, come on. Where we at?
Concert, I got the other video that you wanted with Ricky Smiley.
Yeah, play this video. This is another good one here.
Let me see if this will play the volume.
You kind of do what the Breakfast Club does. Not exactly. What do you know about those guys? Is there any competition?
Well, we were in that competition when we were on the hip hop station.
Okay.
So it was either the Ricky Smiley Morning Show or the Breakfast Club. What we were known for was the funny.
Right.
Or whatever. And we were number one in every market.
Right.
They were known for the interviews with Angela Yee, Charlamagne, DJ Envy, who I met for the first time. I met him at the White House this past December. It was really, really nice. I met him and his wife. So I'm a big fan. I watch all of the interviews, love their work and everything. But that was our competition.
Right.
Believe it or not, our competition now is Steve.
Okay.
And Steve the one got us a job. And now we compete directly against the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Right.
And we always texting each other. And sometimes we get on the same page.
Right.
In the morning.
Stop there, Asher. Stop there. Listen carefully to this part. He said sometimes we get on the same page. Now he's going to begin to tell you about when him, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley get all on the same page. And he's going to bring up Raphael Warnock, who was the senator down there, I believe, in South Carolina. And he's going to talk to you about how they all get on the same page. Now, if you're listening to political advertisers and if you're listening to some comedian, I don't know when that started, where some comedian gives you your political advice now. Some comedian gives you your marriage advice. Some of you bitches are so dumb. You let a comedian give you marital advice who's had 3 marriages. And he's giving you your marriage advice. Some comedian tells you who to vote for. Your comedian graduated from kindergarten, and he tells you who to vote for, and you listen to him on some morning radio. Well, he's going to tell you that him, Steve Harvey and D.L. Hughley all came together to tell people they should vote for Raphael Warnock. And this is why. Keep going. Go ahead.
Or whatever. Because when we're trying to push something in agenda,
right?
DL, Steve, and I, we stay on group text.
Right.
Because we are DL and DL Hughley, we work for the same company.
Right.
Steve worked for the other company, but we communicate.
Right.
So like Pastor Warnock and different people we're trying to help, we always on the same page.
Right.
And we all accused.
Yeah. What is your style? Who is Ricky?
Actually, did you hear what he said?
He said we're all accused.
Yes, that's what he said. Meaning, as you're sitting there listening to the radio, thinking, boy, D.L. Hughley really believes in Raphael Warnock. And then another person is listening to Steve Harvey. And another person is listening to Ricky Smiley. And you go, boy, all of these black celebrities love Raphael Warnock. I should vote for him too. Meanwhile, they're talking to each other, all deciding that they're all going to push Raphael Warnock. And why? Because all of them are members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, all of them. And they've decided to come together on the phone, even though they work for different companies. But they've talked to each other and decided that all black people are going to vote for Raphael Warnock. Are you out? That is who you listen to. Someone so greedy and so disgusting that you'll think that you're getting their pure assessment of this political person. But it's because some fraternity has got together and decided that you're going to vote for them. And so they all work it out behind the scenes. And these are vile and disgusting men. And these are the same men that came together to beat that brother to death, to beat him to death, because they are opportunistic and greedy in a way you don't understand. You don't quite get it. That they would do anything if Raphael Warnock could make some promise to them, and then now they can get a meeting with him or get money from him or get some type of benefit from now knowing an elected senator. They'll all come together and push black people to vote for him. And because you trust rich men and you think rich men are someone that you should listen to, you'll get played in this disgusting game that all of them are playing that you're not aware of. You understand, Asher?
Concert.
Anything else?
I have that video with Sam Smith on him going on that date.
That's a nasty one here. Oh, this is nasty. Play this one real fast.
Concert.
Hold up. This is Sam Smith. Now, once again, to my LGBTQ friends out there, you have to explain this to me, okay? Because LGBTQ people they fought hard for the right to marry. They have the right to marry. Laws have been passed so that they can get married, have children, go out there and buy children from somebody, go get some kids, raise those children. But this is sounding very familiar to me about the LGBTQ lifestyle, which I'm not hearing anybody speak out against it. Play this, please.
Here we go.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Asher. Stop for a second. This is Sam Smith. Sam Smith is the one that did that performance at the Grammys where he was wearing red and talking about how nasty he was going to be at the Grammys with all the red and the devil imagery. This is him right here. Go ahead and play.
Concert.
And the guy, you can just tell when someone's not there to like get down.
Yeah.
And so I had to sit through this.
Rewind again, Asher. I think you missed the first part.
Ready, sir?
Rewind a little bit. I think you missed the first part.
I went on a date, and the guy, you can just tell when someone's not there to like get down.
Yeah.
And so I had to sit through this day, and I was like, "Oh my God, you've wasted my life. You've wasted hours of my life." I'm always polite and nice, so I sat through the day, and then went to bed, and then woke up next morning with a little hangover that I didn't want. And then I got in the studio with Jesse, and literally, I just said that I didn't come to make friends on this day. And then the song happened.
Asher, stop. Asher, did you hear what he said?
Concert.
Break
He
it
said
down.
he said he went. This LGBTQ member said he went on a date with another man, and he found out and realized that the man wasn't there and wasn't willing to have LGBT sex with him, and he felt that he wasted his time going on this date with this guy because he wasn't gonna engage in.
If I could, Sam Smith went on a date with another man, an LGBTQ man. And early into the date, he realized that the man was not there to have sex with a total stranger tonight. The man came there to get to know him before they had LGBTQ sex, to get to know who he was. Sam Smith was so annoyed by it, he couldn't stand it. He said, this man is wasting my time because he did not come there to make friends. So the next day, I'm sorry?
He said, wasted hours of my life.
He said, wasted hours of my life. And then the next day, he wrote a song. The song is titled, I Did Not Come to Make Friends. To my LGBTQ leaders in the LGBT community, when are you going to teach LGBTQ people to settle down? Calm down. You got reverends and preachers in the Episcopalian religion. You got all kinds of religious leaders that cater to the LGBTQ community. You have the right to marry. Why don't you settle down? Why don't you find a young man and marry him and buy some kids? Why don't you go buy some kids and settle the hell down? You want to be nasty as hell forever while you have the right to marry. What in the hell did you protest for? For a right to marry? To get angry if a total stranger won't have LGBT sex with you tonight? Maybe he wants to get to know you for a second. Maybe he wants to marry you and buy some children with you. Why don't you do that? LGBTQ reverends and preachers, teach them to settle down. They have the right to marry. They should be settling down, buying some kids, getting a house, and stopping all of this nastiness, or else why did you even go through all of this protesting? What'd you do it for? Right. This is your fault, LGBTQ preachers, all these churches that have LGBTQ acceptance. You're not, the Catholic Church accepts them now. The Episcopalian, the Pentecostals, forget about it. Why don't you teach them to settle down and get married? They're not going to get married? I thought they were going to get married. I thought that was the whole point of all of this, that they were going to now get married. Why? Heterosexual people are taught to settle down. That's what they're always taught. They're taught, even though you want to have sex with all of these girls or all these boys, one day you should settle down, buy a house, have some children, and go to church. Well, all of the churches accept the LGBTQ community. You can buy all the kids you want from the baby store. Why don't you settle down and get some kids? I have a feeling that's not what you want.
Salaki, sir.
That's my concern. Asher?
I have a question for you. Joseph Ben Israel wants to know, why is the ISUPK pushing morals on the LGBTQ?
Well, here's the problem, Joseph Ben Israel. Somebody has to do it. The Christians aren't.
Right.
Somebody has got to teach morals. The problem, Ben Israel, you'll learn this. What I'm doing right now, this is context and sarcasm. Joseph Ben Israel doesn't understand sarcasm. He might be a little slow. He doesn't know what sarcasm is. Joseph Ben Israel, look up sarcasm, then you'll understand what I'm doing.
Salaki,
right? Look at it. Go ahead.
Salaki, I was gonna say, Christ said, "Do not the physician, aren't the physician among the sick?" I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, I mean, well, really, this is sarcasm, Elijah. Everybody should just look that word up. You get it now, Joseph? Joseph said, I see. There you go, Joseph. Good job, man. It's sarcasm, Joseph. Guess what, Joseph? Guess what? I don't have any LGBTQ friends.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, Asher, I'm sorry. Asher, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it. Asher, permiso. Lo siento, Efe. Okay. All right. Let's go. Next.
Concert. Okay, so I have another video for more controversial TikToks. This one is a video about how white people had they wanted to establish rules in order to accept the black people in their communities and their jobs and their schools.
Let me see this one. I don't recall this one. I think I played this one. This is a good one. Go ahead, rock it out if you like it. You like this one?
Concert.
Go ahead.
Into hiring any colored person, regardless of his qualifications, as a matter of duress or as a matter of expedience.
When the Negro can prove to the white man that he can live like the white man, then we will accept them.
And the only thing that scares me is the neighborhood all getting bad. And if we ever wanted to sell, naturally your house depreciation as the color get in.
If they move in, the next step we have to accept is intermarriage.
We can be sociable with them in work. We can get along with them and joke with them.
Sure.
But when we leave our job and close the door and we're on our way home, we want them to go in their direction and we can go in ours.
Asher, play the first part again. Then give me the Harry Belafonte one I sent you today. And this is, if you want to understand just the condition you live in right now, it's all based in this. Play that first part and then give me Harry Belafonte.
Wait, hold on a second. Which one was that?
That was one of the ones I sent you today. You should see his face. Judite sitting there, old-timey Judite picture, talking about Martin Luther King. This is Harry Belafonte, where he gives an account of the last words that Martin Luther King said to him before Martin Luther King was killed.
If I may, sir, could you be kind enough to resend it to me? I'm not seeing it.
No sweat, Doc. No sweat. Hold on. Bear
And
with
I'll
me.
play this again for you.
We will not be coerced into hiring any colored person, regardless of his qualifications, as a matter of duress or as a matter of expedience.
When
That's
the
all I
Negro
need right
can
there.
prove
Stop right there.
to the white man.
Stop right there if I could. Hold up, Asher. Damn, maybe I didn't send it to you like you said, Doc. Hold on 1 second. I didn't send it to you, Asher. Let me get this for you, please. All right. Stand by. We got any questions online I'm missing while I'm looking for this?
Yes. Abadia has a question.
Go ahead, Abadia.
I just
wanted
to.
Abadia, how you doing now?
2 hours, sir. Yourself?
Good to go, Warrior. You know I miss you. I can't wait to get down there and see you. Most High in Christ.
Most High in Christ, sir. Salakia, sir. I just wanted to know, what were your thoughts on the whole thing with Russia leaving the START program, basically the START treaty? It seems like rudimentary, like just they're saying it's saber rattling, but I just wanted to know your thoughts on it.
Okay, hold on. I'll get it to you right now. I don't think we went into those balloons either much.
No, Concept. It seemed like a small issue to me, but if you wanted to, you could go into
I'm sending it to you right now.
Concert. And also, when we're done, sir, Chicago has a question.
Okay. Russia did that in response to Biden coming to the Ukraine, coming to Kiev and doing that speech. That's what the art of brinksmanship is. Brinksmanship is when countries kind of, volley back and forth with insults and postures and policies. It's like it's war, but war done in a non-violent way. That's what brinksmanship is, and that's why Russia pulled out of that. It's like a treaty to say that they won't make any more nuclear weapons. They pulled out of it because of Biden's speech in Kiev. You understand, Abadia?
Sir.
So that's why they did it, and you'll see that go back and forth because of America's, siding and aggressively helping the Ukraine to kill Russian forces. And that's why they did that today. And of course, all of these balloons that they're shooting down like crazy. Is there anyone that thinks that those balloons are aliens? I noticed no one asked me that question. And I am impressed by that. Because a few years ago, someone would have asked me, were those aliens? But no one asked me. I got not one phone call to ask me, were those balloons aliens? Give yourselves a hand. That shows growth on your part. Because 5 years ago, I would have had to break down that the earth was round and that those were not aliens. Aliens don't exist. Aliens are not real. Aliens have never been real. Let me hit you with something real fast. Back in the 1950s, the whole Roswell, New Mexico incident, all of you have heard about that. Roswell, New Mexico. America put out some rumor and myth that America shot down an alien spacecraft in Roswell, New Mexico, right? And that's where the whole Area 51 garbage comes from, which is really a place where they're making weapons to kill its enemies on Earth. America makes weapons in Area 51 to kill Russians and Iraqis and to kill enemies on Earth, not to kill aliens, but to kill the enemies on Earth. And some spacecraft they're hoping will be good enough to help them on Judgment Day. Those spacecraft, of course, will not help them at all. But what did America say back in the 50s when people asked them, did they shoot down aliens? Any one of you who know about this topic can tell me. What did America say they shot down actually? Who knows? Chicago.
Salakia, sir, they said they shot down a weather balloon.
A weather balloon. Why? Because it was not actually a weather balloon, but it was another Russian balloon in the 50s that America shot down. Because they've been using these balloons since the 50s. Why? Because satellites give a very good close look on things on the Earth, but sometimes they need even a closer look. They need to see the tattoos on your face. They need a closer look, and to get a closer look, they have to use balloons. So back in the 50s, America shut down a Russian balloon. America said it was a weather balloon. It was not a weather balloon. It was a Russian balloon, and then they put out another story that it was aliens, and people forgot about that balloon story. They didn't give a damn about that balloon story. They were totally preoccupied with the fact that there are aliens. You spent 50 years worrying about aliens, and aliens are not real. You're an idiot. You're stupid. And if you've been afraid of aliens all these years, just know that you listen to celebrities and you learn from movies, not through pure research, but from movies. And because of movies, you believe in aliens. Anything
If I may,
else?
sir.
Go ahead.
Just gonna mention the White House had to answer that. The press secretary did have to come and say, yeah, just so we're clear, none of the objects are aliens or extraterrestrials. You can look it up, Concept.
I saw that, but let me help you. Let me take you a point further. The White House did not have to answer it. The White House wanted to answer it because the White House wants everyone distracted with aliens. Governments need the people to be stupid. It's like important. That's why the Romans had bread and circus. The Romans put federal money into the Colosseum and the games that have men fighting lions, and into Greco-Roman games, into the Olympics, because governments cannot function with a sophisticated electorate. They can't function like that. People have to be dumb. If people are not dumb, they cannot be controlled because the government is smaller than the masses of people. The government needs two things to work. They need the people to be stupid and to be more into hair and shoes and rappers and movies and Jay-Z and Whack 100 and Charlemagne the God and Beyonce. They need you thinking about that so that they can rule your life and you don't even care what they're doing. And they need something else: persistent, consistent violence. That's what government needs. That's what every government has always done. The Romans did it. The Egyptians did it. The Greeks did it. The Germans did it. The Spaniards did it. The British did it. The Americans do it. They keep you dumb with entertainment. And if you would dare to raise your head up out of the computer, off of TikTok or off of the football game, they use the police to beat you to death. Next.
Chicago, sir.
Chi-Town, you're up.
Hey, Shalom, Shirakathar, the one. Salakia, so I got a question from a brother. He wanted the brother was asking for a general breakdown of Proverbs 24:16. What does it mean for a just man to fall 7 times?
This is like the 4th week I broke the scripture down. Seems like y'all brothers want to fall down. Let me do it simple. Just go ahead and fall up. Fall. I don't care either way. All right. I have the patience for this. Let me just think if I have the patience for it for 1 second now.
Cut it.
What kind of scotch you drinking, sir?
Oh, this is good scotch. I was about to ask. I'm sad you said that. What kind of scotch is this? This scotch tastes expensive, huh? It tastes like the good stuff. Give it a hand. Oh, the Glenlivet. Hold on. What's this right here? It's the Glenfinch out there in Scotland out somewhere. Oh, that's single malt Scotch whiskey, brother. You know what? I'm going to answer this question. Give the Scotch a hand. A lot of action. Asher knows how to cast out my demons. Well, young, let's go to the precept, brother, if you don't mind.
Kind of what concept.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 16.
Go ahead.
For a just man falleth 7 times.
A just man falls 7 times. Now, if a man falls 7 times, what else has he done 7 times? Same brother.
So he got up 7 times.
He got up. What makes him just, brother?
Salakia, sir, the fact that he's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Not in you're right, but not in this context, because it says that he's a just man. A just man falls 7 times. What is just about what he's doing? Same brother.
Salakia, sir, him getting back up.
The getting up is what makes him just. Let me give you another precept. Give me watch that ye stand lest ye fall, please. Someone else. Here's what you want to understand. You should not fall 1 time. You should never fall. Falling 1 time is too much. You should never fall. Commanding General Yohanan never fell. Not once. He never spent any time out of the work for 40 years. Not a weekend. Not 2 days. Not a day. Never. He never left the truth and then got himself together, got off of drugs, and came back to the school. He didn't do that out. He stayed in the truth since he was 19 till today. Not a weekend, not a day off. He didn't fall off for a time. He didn't stop reporting. He didn't stop calling his superiors. To this day, he allows us to call him a 13 shield general because that is the last rank that he received from the men that taught him. And when they fell, he still never increased his rank. He never did it. He just stayed that rank. That's that. He didn't make himself emperor or apostle or bishop. He didn't do anything.
Was on 7 times.
Say again?
No, Captain Shmuel, I was asking what the subject was, sir.
Okay, throughout. He just stayed that same rank because he never fell once. Now, if you fall, you better get back up, or else you're not a righteous man. You got to get back up. That's the key. Let me give you the other side. Where's the precept I asked for?
I don't have it.
Y'all don't have it. I'll get it for you.
Lest he fall again.
Lest ye fall. That's all I need. Watch that ye may stand, lest ye fall. That's what it says. I'll get it for you.
Anyone in the room got it? Detroit?
It's 1 Corinthians 10 and 12.
Kind of Wakan.
Go ahead.
One moment, sir. Sorry. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 12. Salakia. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth.
Read that again. Read that again.
Khan. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
What does that mean, Chicago? Is that who asked the question?
Colonel McCon.
What does that mean, Chicago?
Salaya, sir.
You want to read it one more time? Let Chicago read it. Tell them where it is.
Colonel McCon, the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
What does that mean, Chicago?
Salaya, sir. Is it saying that if the brother or sister that think that they're in the truth, let them take heed to the men above them and let them take heed to what they're doing so that they don't fall.
That's what it says. You think you're standing. You think you're up right now, right? You're off drugs. You're keeping the commandments of God. You're not sinning. You think that you're standing. You better be careful or else you'll fall. Even drug rehab programs will tell you when you're trying to get off of drugs, you have to avoid particular people, places, and things that might cause you to relapse. You can't go around your friends anymore who you got high with, because if you go around them, what's going to happen? Chicago?
You're going to fall.
You're going to fall. So you have to take care. You have to heed. You have to make sure. If you don't make sure, what's going to happen, Chicago?
You're going to fall.
So if you're up, if you're in the truth and keeping the commandments, off drugs, off of sin, what is your obligation?
So like I said, would it be to watch your step?
Let me let the same brother answer.
Colonel McCon, sir.
If you're up, now imagine, just get your head here first. I am up. I'm doing the right thing. I'm up. What is my obligation? And remember, I used that word. What am I obligated to do if I'm up?
Salaya, so you're obligated to stay up.
To stay up. And to stay up, I need to do what? It's right in this precept.
Watch. Take heed to yourself.
Take heed. Yes, I need to take heed. I need to be careful so that I stay up. Now, let's say I fell. Let's say I left the truth. Let's say I've backslid into the world. I'm getting high again. I'm visiting prostitutes and whores and women outside of my nation again. I'm an LGBTQ person. I'm down. What is my obligation, Chicago?
To get back up and get back in the truth.
Give him a hand. That's it. And that's why it says a righteous man falls 7 times. Because a righteous man never says, well, I fell 5 times, I got to stay down. That's not what he's going to say. He's going to say, I better get up. I better stand up. I don't give a damn if you've been trying to get off of drugs 100 times. Brother, you better try again. You better get up. And I don't care if you've never fallen out of the truth. You better be careful or else you will. Do you understand, Chicago?
Colonel McCon.
Just know this. While Commanding General Yohana has me as second in command, if you fall out of the truth, I ain't never letting you come back. Ever. You're gonna have to stand in the world. You're gonna have to go be in the world and be watching these videos, because I'm going to take your cover from you and never ever let you come back again. So if I was you, I would stay up. You understand, Chicago?
Colonel McCon.
Next question.
I have that video that you wanted, sir.
Which one is this?
This one right here with Harry.
The last thing Dr. King ever said,
go ahead,
5 days, as a matter of fact, before he was murdered.
Rewind, please. Play from the top.
The last thing Dr. King ever said to me, 5 days, as a matter of fact, before he was murdered, was he was at my home. We had just finished a strategy meeting on the Poor People's Campaign. And he seemed quite agitated after what we thought was a very successful gathering and discussion. And he said to me, I said, what's the matter, Martin? You seem
Stop.
very agitated."
Listen closely. Because you know, everyone knows the Israelite School of UPK's stance on Martin Luther King. He was a notorious, whoremongerer and, loved white women. Can I say that, Asher? I guess I can't say that.
Yes, sir.
He loved white women who were prostitutes. He loved that. He loved it. He had orgies, and he had men and women all having sex together in orgies. He was an orgy man, Martin Luther King. He loved that. And he lied, you know, every time he woke up in the morning, he told lies. But Martin Luther King, in private, told the truth to Harry Belafonte. Young brothers, you don't know who Harry Belafonte is. He was one of the most famous black men in the world in the 50s, I want to say 60s. He was extremely famous. He was like the Denzel Washington of his day. He was a black man who talked with a white, dialect and was proper. And every white man respected Harry Belafonte because of the way he carried himself. Okay. And in private, he told the truth to Harry Belafonte. And everything that Martin Luther King Jr. is going to say right now that he said to Harry Belafonte, every word of it is true. So if you love Martin Luther King, if you believe in him, if you think he was a man of God and someone to be followed, then follow this. Read. I'm sorry, Clay. Go ahead.
I am. Because I've come upon a thought, but I don't know how to deal with it this moment. I said, well, what is it? He says, we fought long for integration. It looks like we're going to get it. I think we get the laws. He says, but I'm afraid that I've come upon something I don't know quite what to do with. I'm afraid that we're integrating into a burning house. And when we asked for further clarification, Andy Young was with me at that time, my wife, others. He said, America's lost whatever little moral vision it had. Its moral sense has run away from the nation. And a nation that is not governed by morality and moral principles is a nation that's headed for an abyss. And I think black people have been struggling to get into this system. Maybe getting into a system that in the final analysis is a Sodom and Gomorrah will not work.
Oh, wait, hold up, Asher. Say it again.
Goals.
Wait a minute. Martin Luther King compared America to what? Because
Sodom.
they lost their moral compass, because they had no more morality. What did Martin Luther King compare America to, Asher?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what he said. That's what Martin said. That's what the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King said. He said America had no more morals, and they were more like Sodom and Gomorrah. He told the truth. He was right. He told the truth. Martin Luther King realized that after he got just what he wanted was a mistake. It was a mistake. And he told just as much to Harry Belafonte. Play it from the beginning.
The last thing Dr. King ever said to me 5 days, as a matter of fact, before he was murdered, was he was at my home. We had just finished a strategy meeting on the Poor People's Campaign. And he seemed quite agitated after what we thought was a very successful gathering and discussion. And he said to me, I said, what's the matter, Martin? You seem very agitated. He said, well, I am. Because I've come upon a thought, but I don't know how to deal with it this moment. I said, well, what is it? He says, we fought long for integration. It looks like we're going to get it. I think we get the laws. He says, but I'm afraid that I've come upon something I don't know quite what to do with. I'm afraid that we're integrating into a burning house. And when we asked for further clarification, Andy Young was with me at that time, my wife, others. He said, America's lost whatever little moral vision it had. Its moral sense has run away from the nation. And a nation that is not governed by morality and moral principles is a nation that's headed for an abyss. And I think black people have been struggling to get into this system, maybe getting into a system that in the final analysis is a Sodom and Gomorrah, will not work. Because its selfish goals, its need for profit, its need for supremacy, its need to be the best has clouded its moral vision. And with no moral vision, no nation can be healthy enough to lead its people anywhere except to destruction.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare.
Stop. He told the truth. Give Martin a hand up. Martin told the truth up. Give the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. a hand up. I mean, he told the truth. Blacks and Hispanics. I mean, I don't know what Commander General Yohana has to do for you. I don't know what's wrong with you. And let me tell you, there were people that fought the civil rights movement that had such courage. Oh my God. There's this brother who was blinded. He came home from the military from World War II. He was on a bus coming home to South Carolina. Shout out to Officer Captain Natazar out there in South Carolina. He was coming home on a bus. And the white sheriff in the town was so angered at a black man wearing a United States military uniform that he got on this bus, dragged this brother off the bus, and gouged out his eyes. Gouged his eyes out. And he was blind for the rest of his life. And his story got so famous, and black people had enough of what they were being treated like down there in South Carolina and in Mississippi and Alabama. And they came together to push and fight for the civil rights movement. And their houses were burned down. They weren't allowed to buy food. They wore suits and ties, went to church every Sunday. They were college students, and they were killed and murdered because they wanted some portion of justice in America, because they wanted a sheriff who gouged the eyes out of a military veteran, a war hero who came home, who was simply blinded because he wore a uniform and served his country. President Eisenhower heard about it at the time. He couldn't believe that it was happening in the South, in his own political party, the Dixiecrats or the Southern Democrats. And he was enraged by it, and they pushed and pushed and pushed. They finally arrested the sheriff, not guilty. The sheriff didn't go to jail. He was acquitted of all charges. The jury came back in 5 minutes. The judge said, I'm going to lunch. The bailiff said, don't go to lunch because they'll be back in 5 minutes. He said, well, I'm not going to be here. And he left, and he took 25 minutes. By the time he came back, they had been banging on his door for 20 minutes because they were done in 5 minutes. Not guilty for the man who gouged his eyes out. This movement went on and on and on. Thurgood Marshall, who was the lawyer for the NAACP, he fought and pushed and fought and pushed for integration, and the fight, it failed. And finally, with the help of Martin Luther King and so many black people in suits and ties, college educated, Christians, not gang members, they were beaten by the police enough so that white people just couldn't stand to see cops beating people so cruelly on TV every day. And they had such strength to fight the civil rights movement, such integrity. Here's the problem. Now listen very carefully. You can only find that kind of strength, that kind of internal power, when a people have been segregated. Do you understand? We don't have that strength anymore because we're integrated. Thurgood Marshall, all of the people that we look up to in Black History Month are people of renown and strength and extreme honor and integrity, and they all were raised in a segregated society, away from white people, away from white schools, away from white women. Segregation bred integrity in black people. It made the kind of people you celebrate on Black History Month. Who have you celebrated since? Who are the people after desegregation that you celebrate? Barack Obama, he's the only one. You celebrate him and he's African. He's not even black. You don't have any more civil rights heroes because you don't have segregation anymore. And segregation bred heroes. It bred people who were peculiar and were strong. Can you imagine fighting for civil rights in the South in the 1950s, in the 60s, when they were going to burn down your house and kill your husband and kill your children, and you still did it? The only way you could be like that and have that kind of heart is if you were raised in a segregated society where black people stayed to themselves and didn't mix with white people, where Latinos were bred in their own soil, with their own culture, with their own beliefs. Segregation bred heroes. It bred independence and business. And integration got rid of all of your heroes. Now you don't have any heroes anymore. You know who the civil rights movement was a mistake. Integration was a mistake. You know who knows better than anybody else? Someone type it on the screen from online. Who knows better than anybody else that integration was a mistake? Put his name on the screen. And then give me, while we're waiting for the name, give me Matthew 11. Stand by. 11 and 12. Who knew for a fact that integration was a mistake? It was wrong, because America is Sodom and Gomorrah, a place that is about to be destroyed because of their lack of morals. No one knows online. You don't want to type his name up there. Yeah, that's to give him a hand. Martin Luther King, that's who knew. Give them a hand. He knew. He knew. He said it. He said it. Well, what could he do? He didn't understand. He was greedy. He was another member of a black Greek fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, who just wanted to be white so bad it was like a burning desire in his heart. He didn't understand what he was doing. 5 days before he was killed, he realized America is Sodom and Gomorrah. They're greedy and lustful and power hungry, and I shouldn't join my people to them. My people are better being segregated. That's where you find Thurgood Marshall and all of the church leaders that were powerful and were willing to stand up to the white violence. You can't have them in an integrated society. They want to be Jay-Z. They want to be white. And they can be white, and they want to play at the Super Bowl, and they want to sing at the Super Bowl. The opportunity that they now have weakens them. It makes them weak. We were stronger when white people didn't allow us in. You'd have your black businesses you keep talking about. I'm sick of you talking about black businesses. I don't want to hear you idiots talk about black businesses anymore unless you're going to say integration was a mistake. And I want you brothers to do that. Anybody that complains about how we need to support HBCUs, how we need to support black businesses, before you support them, say, was integration a mistake? If they say no, walk out of their black business. Walk out and go to a white one. That's what you do. You go into a black restaurant and say, well, I'm here to support black businesses, but before I buy these $50 oxtails, I have one question. Was integration a mistake? If they say, no, it was right, then go and buy a $20 pizza from an Italian. Walk out. When you go to support some black person selling something, before you buy what they are selling, ask them, was integration, and put it on camera so I can hear. I want to hear black business owners will still say, I believe in integration, while you're sitting there with a struggling, starving black business. Before some HBCU tells you we should support HBCUs, and we got the band, and the girls are shaking their tails, and we having a good time. That's beautiful. Before I help you, before I give you money, was integration a mistake? If an HBCU will not say that integration was a mistake, take your child and take him to a white school. Do that. But if they say it was a mistake, if they say, I don't believe in integration, I wish that black people were forced to go to black schools, then support them. And now let me blow your mind with one last thing before I bring this precept out. What would fix everything right now? We have terrible schools, terrible public schools, terrible HBCUs. We have no black or Latino businesses at all. Jamaica is run by the East Indians. What would fix us? And what I'm about to tell you is possible. It's not a dream. It's something that could happen tomorrow. No one will get the answer, but I'm going to give you a shot while I have one last drink. See me one more time. Go ahead. Who wants to give it a shot? Hold up, Jamaica. Jamaica, I don't think you're going to have the answer, though. That's enough. Just one finger. Go ahead. Jamaica, what's your answer?
Segregation, sir.
Well, segregation is impossible because there are laws that have been changed. There's no way to have segregation anymore. You can't have legal segregation anymore. There's federal laws have been established by Martin Luther King before he realized it was wrong. Yeah, that's not possible.
We can have it on the ISUPK.
Go ahead.
We can have it on the ISUPK, sir.
Give him a hand. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's not what I was saying, but it is a fact. The ISUPK is doing it right now. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about every country. I'm talking about Jamaica, Trinidad. I'm talking about Chicago, Harlem, St. Louis, Mississippi, Alabama. This could happen, and it might happen. And it would fix the mistake of integration. I'll give you one last try. Chicago, go ahead.
Salakia, sir, would it be us understanding that the white man is truly the devil the Bible speak of?
Okay, let me hold up. Let me think on that for a second. When you say us, are you talking about the majority of black people and Latinos?
Kind of one concept.
That's not possible. Not the majority. Not the majority. The majority, wide is the gate that leads into destruction, and many there be that enter therein. Straight and narrow is the gate that leads to righteousness, and few there be that enter therein. So that will always be something that few people do. That will never be something that the masses do. But this thing that I'm talking about, everybody will do because they won't have a choice.
Salakia, sir, would it be war?
Explain.
As we know, everything's hot. Would it be World War III, sir?
World War III gets here, there'll be no point for none of this. It'll be over.
Come.
That's not it. It's right in front of your face, but I know you've never thought about it. But it's the answer to going back to a time where we stayed in our own neighborhoods. We shopped at our own restaurants. We went to our own schools.
Salakia,
Abadja.
Salakia, if we had brotherhood through persecution.
Abadja, explain what you mean.
Meaning like we were, like you just said, we were forced into it because we came up using Harlem as an example where we are now. A lot of brothers and sisters came here running from the Klan. We had no other option but to deal with each other at that point.
So then what needs to increase for us to go back to segregation, Abadja?
Our oppressor would have to start being more openly evil to us, just like you saw during the era of Trump. When people saw Trump supporters start to come out, that's when black people had to realize, wait, maybe we're not post-racial, and maybe there is something to us being together as a people.
Abadja, you've become a grown man in front of my eyes, and you're right. Give him a hand. Well done, Abadja. Well done. Do you know what has to increase? White people have to be more cruel and evil to black people that try to integrate. That's what has to happen. White people have to begin to not allow you to shop in their stores, and that can happen tomorrow. White people simply need to, when you go into give me those stores everybody shops at, Aria, with all the red things on the bottoms of the feet in the Louis Vuitton. When you go into the Louis Vuitton store, like they did Oprah Winfrey years ago. You remember that, Chicago? When Oprah Winfrey went to that store, what happened in Chicago?
Right. Salakia, sir, they told her, we don't care who you are, how much money you got, you can't shop here.
Oprah Winfrey went in, what store was that? Fendi, Gucci, something?
I think it was I think it was either Fendi or Louis Vuitton. It was one
Someone
of those.
pull the story up, Asher. Oprah Winfrey went into a Fendi or Louis Vuitton store.
What,
and
sir?
They followed her around the store like it was a Chinese carryout, and they thought she was going to steal something. What'd you say, Asher?
Like it's Officer Corayala say he think it was Tom Ford, sir. Tom Ford.
Let me see the story on the screen, because this is the hard truth of what has happened because of Martin Luther King's mistake. If we're going to go back to being the kind of people that lived in a segregated area where we supported each other, white people are going to have to be more cruel to those of us that try to shop in white stores, that try to go to white schools, that try to marry white women. And that can happen tomorrow because white people are like that right now. Well, Oprah Winfrey went into a store to shop and they hated her. And if more white people would become more cruel, more evil, more deadly, we would have no choice but to go to an HBCU and to shop in the West Indian restaurant and to buy those delicious oxtails. And I don't give a damn how much they cost. Buy them, Jamaica. Jamaica, you seem like you could cook. Do you know how to cook? I can look at you and tell. Jamaica looks like he makes a... What do you make? What's the things that you make that are delicious?
Okay, I bake. I cook.
What do you cook?
Oh, you mean like Jamaican dishes?
Like what?
Ackee and saltfish, rundown, oxtail, curry, goat, curry, chicken.
Jesus Christ. Listen, Jamaica, I can look at you. I bet that curry goat that you make is like this. Delicious. We should be buying your curry goat. And they will buy your curry goat when Oprah Winfrey gets arrested for going into a white store. And when people get arrested in Popeyes. And when they go to jail because they went to Starbucks. Black people were going to the bathroom in Starbucks. And they were getting arrested in Starbucks. Listen to me carefully because this is going to hurt your feelings. Black people need to get arrested more in Starbucks. More. It needs to happen all the time. Then we'll go buy your curry goat. Then we'll go to your restaurant. But black people will never go to a black restaurant if they are treated well in a white restaurant. They'll never do it. So in essence, the cruelty of white people has to increase. That has to happen. And I don't know who can argue against it. I'm waiting for some of you Christians to say I'm wrong. I'll give you more proof that I'm right. More proof. Chicago.
So like, sir, I got it right here. Oprah Winfrey was trying to buy a $38,000 handbag at the Hermes shop.
Hermes, 38. Are there no sisters that could make a purse for Oprah Winfrey? Now that same slut, Oprah Winfrey is a slut. I'm not just saying that out of derogatory statements. She had sex with everybody. Everybody. She had sex with so many white men. Give me some white man that Oprah Winfrey had sex with. I forget his name. He looked like Frankenstein. He was tall and blonde haired, and he had sex with Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey had sex with so many white men to make it to her TV show. You can look this up. I'll show you the pictures on the screen when Asher finds them. Oprah Winfrey slutted her way all through the television industry until she got her show, which is what so many black women do. Why? Because they are ambitious and they will do anything for money. Oprah Winfrey then could spend $38,000 on a Hermes handbag. And she doesn't spend any of that money in Mississippi, where she was born, on a sister making a purse, on a Latino sister, on a so-called North American Indian sister. You know what needs to happen when she goes to that store? They need to harass her and kick her out the store. And if she gets kicked out of every white store, she'll have no choice but to come buy oxtails from Jamaica. and buy ackee and saltfish because she won't be welcomed in those stores. That is a viable solution to fixing the problem in the Black economy. And I say it's viable because they hate you and they'll do it tomorrow. Like this could happen. This is not a far-fetched idea. It happened to Oprah. It happened. She went there to spend, she walked into a store to spend $38,000 and they rejected her. They rejected her. Why can't more of them do it? More of them could do it. They should. They should do it. And then we'll be a nation of our own again. Give me the precept I asked for. Let me give you this sad truth of your stupid ass life. And this is what I'm about to show you is the sad truth. And that's that. All right. Asher, I know I got to get the hell up out of here. Where we at with Boston? Boston, are they live streaming?
I believe it ended already, sir.
It was over already. Did you see it yet?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere on Facebook, sir.
Okay, let's all after the class. Let's all go check that out.
Come on, sir.
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead. And let me get the last questions. Any last questions? Asher?
Chicago?
Real quick, out of one.
Mm-hmm.
In the scriptures, it says a fool says in their heart there's no
God.
There's no God. I wanted to know, could imbecile be a good word to substitute for fool for translation purposes in Creole?
That's pretty good. Imbecile is fine. That's fine.
Come on, sir.
You got to be real dumb to look at a creation and think nobody created. I look at this computer in front of me. I'd have to be an idiot to say it just happened by accident, right?
Come on.
I mean, you look at a tree. What do you think? That's by accident? The grass, the rain falls from the sky that we desperately need to live. We can't drink the seawater. All we can drink is the lakes that are filled with rainwater. Rain falls out the sky. That's like a fish. You got fish, Asher? I mean, Levi?
Come on, sir.
I knew you had fish.
A lot of them.
I knew you had fish. I knew. So you got fish. Imagine you feed your fish, right? You dropping that fish and feeding them. And imagine if I asked your fish, do you have an owner? And the fish said, hell no, I don't have an owner. Food just drops into the tank every week. Your fish would be the dumbest fish in the world, wouldn't they? Now, here's the problem with people. Your fish don't know that you're feeding them, do they, Asher?
Sir,
I'm sorry, Levi.
Sir.
They don't know. What do your fish think?
The food is in the water.
Your fish thinks that just every 2 days food just appears, right?
Yes, sir.
Because your fish are stupid. Now, here's the problem with humans. We're as stupid as Levi's fish. We don't know that Levi is feeding us every day. Levi is putting fish food in the bowl. Atheists expect you to be as dumb as the fish in Levi's tank, who think that food just appears floating in the water every day. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. Who the hell do you think is feeding you? You understand, Levi, right?
Cut out of one, sir.
Next.
Real quick, out of one. The Creole Bible translated as Munfu, which means crazy person. But I wanted a better. I didn't think that was an accurate translation for fool. Imbecile is more of an accurate.
I like imbecile. Imbecile is a good word.
Sir,
what is that, imbecile, or what is that in French?
You said it right, sir. Imbecile.
Imbecile. French, you're next. After I master this Spanish, I'm going on to French, but I am committed to learning Espanol.
Creole, sir.
Creole. Salakia, Levi. Creole is next. All right, next.
That's it, sir.
Any more questions?
Sir.
Okay, let me practicar mi español. Bear with me. Lo siento, mi gente. Paz hacia ti, mi gente. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal desde un oeste, calle 125, Harlem, New York. Nueva York, bajo el mando del general Johanna desde el 1960 y oh shit, hold on, y'all. I messed it up. I'm trying, Asher. Lo siento. Don't worry. Give me some time. Give me some time because soon un día tendré un sombrero de vaquero y una pistola en mi cinturón. Soon. Just stand by. I'll say it one more time for the Latinos. Un día tendré un sombrero de vaquero y una pistola en mi cinturón. You give me enough time, and that's who I will be. Everyone understands. If you know, you understand. Let me look it up. Let me look it up because I can't do it from that's all I can remember. All right, stand by. Barbary. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal desde un oeste, calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York, bajo el mando del general Johanna desde el 1969. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hispano, permiso, lo siento, latino, negro o indio, nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo, el heredero de Dios. Órale. Pass it up to now Asher. Give Asher a hand.
Pass the class over to Officer Shaw.
Officer
Clap
Shaw,
up.
you got it?
Got on one con, sir. Clap it up for the class. Men of Israel, we're going to get one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Matim Shabbat. Amadium, Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Tuwara Akim.
You got to my child, which means hands down, soft-faced sisters. Sisters. Dismiss.
Shalom, Israel.